The 3 warrior rats who had been propelling the oak branch forward were slowing now as they approached a step that was a few lengths from the Rock of State. King Tsuriel looked around him. There had been a smell of respect, of awe in the air. Now there was something else. Anticipation? The king sniffed, his nose nodding upward. It was more than mere expectation. Excitement? That, of course, but also a scent that he would not have smelled for years. Impatience. Without knowing it, his subjects were eager for newness. He was the past. They had drawn belief and strength from him until now, when there was nothing left within him except death. By the time the branch was being held fast against the dark brick step, the plaining and the acclamation had slackened, and silence was returning to the great hollow. The king gazed upward for the last time at the place of his greatest glories. At the top of the 4 steps stood 2 of his most devoted friends, Quell, slender, elegant, and smoothly powerful, and Grislard, the greatest warrior in the kingdom, his pelt marked by the scars of ancient battles. Behind them, arranged in a respectful arc, were members of the Court of Governance. Painfully, he made his way to the edge of the raft, where he was helped ashore by 2 warriors. Breathing heavily, he ascended the first step, 2, 3, 4, to reach the Rock of State. He turned to face the mighty congregation, gazing first at the citizens who waited beyond the rippling water, looking up at him, then raising his eyes to those who were perching bird-like from bricks and timbers around the wall. For just a second, he gazed at me. I could swear it. Perhaps every rat in that great hollow felt the same thing. Tsuriel had never been handsome, but I could see that in his prime there must have been about him a magnificent ugliness that spoke of strength and honesty. Tonight, alone on the Rock of State, he seemed to be gazing at us from the gates of death, reminding even those courtiers who stood in a respectful group behind him of the skeleton beneath skin, of the fate that awaits us all. Rats live for life, not death. It is why we are strong. No matter what we have been through, however painful a loss, our duty to the kingdom, to our court, to our family, to ourselves, is to survive. That is the simple truth that every citizen understands. It is now that matters, not then. Go. That was what those thousands of eyes gazing in silence were now saying to Tsuriel. Do the kingly thing. Do what you have always done so well. Make us feel better about our world. Your last great duty is to disappear. With a final surge of strength, the king gave the last revelation of his life. My subjects! It was like a shock coursing through my body. Nothing I had been told had prepared me for the power with which the king's words entered my brain. Revelation, you should know, is one of life's highest skills. It is something humans have never managed. Communication through thought. As a young rat, I had the strength to reveal to 2 or 3 of my fellows at most. A captain, Alpa for example, is able to address a group of 100 or so rats. A king, or a courtier who dreams of being king, can address thousands. His power lies in revelation. I am here to bid you a last farewell. The only sound to be heard was the lapping of the river as it passed through the hollow. We live in a time of tumult. The victories of the past, that of the great invasion, our mighty journey across the world above, still course through our veins. A few of the rats closest to the platform began to chatter in excitement, but a sharp, silent reproof from the king, like a whip crack in the brain, silenced them. They are as nothing. They are as dust. For an instant, King Tsuriel seemed to lose track of what he was saying. Then he raised his weary eyes to the stone ceiling over his head. Above us, there is change. We have information from the Court of